The call you've been waiting for is not just about a ringing phone or an unexpected message. It is about that inner stirring, that divine alignment that has been forming quietly behind the scenes of your life. You have prayed, you have wondered, you have asked whether the silence meant delay or denial. But the truth is, silence has been preparation. Silence has been the careful weaving together of circumstances so that when the moment arrives, it is undeniable. There is a season for waiting, and then there is a season when waiting breaks, and what you've longed for finally comes into view. That is the season you are entering. The call you've been waiting for is about to happen. And when it does, you will see why patience was necessary, why trust was essential, and why faith kept you anchored when everything else told you to give up. Before we go further, I want you to take part in something important. I want you to watch this video until the end, because there is a message here that may shift the energy of your entire day, maybe even your entire life. And I want you to be a part of that shift. Go into the comments and write your warmest wishes, the dreams that light up your soul, and the number 77. That simple act is not just typing on a screen. It is sending a pulse of hope into the universe. It is releasing energy that meets the unseen and magnifies it. When you share that, it doesn't just bless you, it strengthens everyone who reads it, turning this space into a place where wishes come alive, where trust is amplified, and where faith multiplies. Now, let us return to the essence of this message. Trust is not built when answers arrive instantly. Trust is built in the wilderness, in the silence, in the unanswered questions. It grows strong in the waiting rooms of life, when doors seem locked and opportunities seem distant. Trust whispers that what is yours cannot miss you, and what misses you was never meant to be yours. The call you are waiting for is more than an event. It is an intersection of destiny, timing, and readiness. Imagine all the invisible hands that are arranging things for you. People you haven't met yet are preparing. Systems you cannot see are shifting. Hearts you don't know are being softened, and opportunities you haven't even dreamed of are being set in place. And when the right moment comes, the alignment will be so perfect that you will realize no effort of your own could have orchestrated it. That is what trust protects, the belief that even when you are not in control, you are never without direction. There are times when we confuse delay with denial, but delay is often grace. Delay allows growth. Delay allows unseen obstacles to be cleared out of your path. If the call you were waiting for had arrived too soon, it may have been wasted or misunderstood. But in waiting, you have been prepared to recognize it, value it, and hold it. Trust means leaning into that process, knowing that unseen alignment is as real as the air you breathe. You may not see it yet, but just as morning always follows night, the fulfillment always follows the waiting. And when that call arrives, whether it is an opportunity, a connection, or a breakthrough, it will not come with confusion, it will come with clarity. It will come with a sense of peace, a deep knowing that this is the moment you have been waiting for. NTHE call you've been waiting for does not always announce itself with a trumpet. Sometimes it comes quietly, almost unnoticeably, disguised in an ordinary moment that suddenly changes everything. It might be a message that arrives when you least expect it, an invitation that opens the right door, or even a simple word that shifts your entire direction. What matters is not how loudly it arrives, but how deeply it resonates. When it comes, it carries with it a weight of certainty, a sense that this is what you have been prepared for. That sense cannot be faked. You will know. Even before you can explain it to others, something within you will confirm. This is the moment. This is the call. This is what I was waiting for. It is easy to grow restless in the waiting. to think that nothing is happening. But just as a seed underground cannot be seen yet is alive, breaking open, stretching roots downward, and preparing to rise upward, so too is your moment germinating beneath the surface. What you cannot see is not the same as what does not exist. The invisible stage is often the most critical. It is where growth takes place, where strength is built, where the future is secured before it appears. And when it finally emerges, it will not be fragile. It will be strong enough to last. That is why trust is not passive. Trust is active. It is holding steady, it is breathing deeply, it is refusing to collapse under impatience. Trust is strength disguised as surrender. NNTHE call you are anticipating will carry responsibility as much as it carries blessing. With every answered longing comes new weight, new tasks, new opportunities to step up and shine. That is why not every call arrives the moment we want it to. Sometimes the delay is simply about preparation, not only for what you are meant to receive, but for the version of yourself who is meant to handle it. Imagine being given what you asked for years ago. Before you were ready, you might have fumbled it, misunderstood it, or even lost it. But now, through waiting, you are wiser. You have depth. You have clarity. You have endurance. And when the call comes now, you will not only answer it, you will carry it with honor. Consider the countless people who gave up too soon, walking away from their turning point just before the shift was about to happen. They mistook silence for rejection. They mistook waiting for abandonment. But you are different. You have held on. You have chosen to keep your heart open, even when it would have been easier to shut it down. That is why the call you are waiting for will not bypass you. Your endurance has positioned you to receive it. What once looked like emptiness will reveal itself as fullness, because the unseen was always working in your favor. Every unanswered prayer, every moment of doubt, every sleepless night has been woven together into a tapestry that is leading to this moment of arrival. When the call you have been waiting for finally arrives, it will not only change your circumstances, but also change the way you see your journey. You will look back and realize that nothing was wasted. The delays were not wasted. The tears were not wasted. The nights you questioned everything were not wasted. Each moment has been shaping you into someone capable of receiving what is coming. The moment that once felt like silence was actually building endurance, carving out deeper trust, and teaching you that the unseen is more powerful than the seen. What once felt like absence will be redefined as presence, because you will understand that even in the quietest hours, something greater was guiding you toward this very moment. NNTHE beauty of the call is not only that it arrives, but that it aligns. Alignment means that everything comes together in ways you could never have scripted. The right people appear, the right opportunities open, the right words are spoken. The door that once seemed locked swings wide, not because you forced it, but because the time became right. You will notice how all the puzzle pieces begin to fit, how paths that once seemed disconnected now merge into a single road. That is the power of trust. It allows you to step into alignment without fear, knowing that the same hand that carried you through the waiting is the hand that opens the way forward. NNDO. Not be surprised if the call takes you in a direction you did not expect. Often the answer comes wrapped differently than you imagined. It may look unfamiliar at first, but the peace within you will confirm it. That peace is your compass. It is the quiet assurance that even though you did not plan this, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Trust does not mean predicting the outcome. It means being ready to follow the path when it unfolds. Sometimes the path is straight, sometimes it bends and wins, but always it leads you closer to what you were created for. When the call comes, trust that even if it feels new, It is right. Trust that even if it stretches you, it will grow you. Trust that even if it requires more of you than you thought you could give, it will also supply what you need to keep moving forward. NNTHE call you are waiting for is not just a message for your ears, it is a message for your heart. It will confirm your worth, it will remind you of your purpose, and it will prove that patience was not in vain. You will feel it, not only as an event, but as a shift. It is the moment when hope becomes visible, when faith becomes tangible, when longing becomes reality. And once it happens, you will no longer doubt whether you were forgotten, because the call will prove that you were seen all along. NTHE call you've been waiting for will not simply arrive to fill a void. It will arrive to confirm that you were never lacking. What you thought was absence was actually protection. What you thought was emptiness was actually preparation. Often, the delay exists because the timing must be precise, because the pieces must line up in a way that leaves no room for chance. Think of how many small details have had to move, shift, and align for this moment to come. Lives intersecting, opportunities forming, conversations unfolding in hidden rooms, hearts being prepared on the other side of your prayers. All of it orchestrated so that when the moment comes, it arrives not as coincidence but as certainty. That is why trust is powerful. It allows you to rest even when you do not yet see the evidence. When the call comes, it may challenge you to step out of your comfort zone. It may require courage, the kind that makes your heart race and your hands tremble. But that trembling is not weakness, it is evidence that you are standing at the edge of growth. Every great step forward begins with some discomfort, because the new always feels unfamiliar. Do not let that stop you. Instead, let it remind you that you are alive, that you are entering territory you once only dreamed of. The call you are waiting for is not designed to shrink you, it is designed to expand you. Expansion always feels a little overwhelming, but it is also where you discover the capacity you never knew you had. And you may find that when the call arrives, not everyone around you understands it. Some may doubt it, some may question it, some may even discourage you from following it. That is natural, because not everyone can hear what was meant for your ears. The call was tailored for you, and only you can recognize the way it resonates in your spirit. Do not be discouraged by the lack of understanding from others. Their vision is not your vision. Their assignment is not your assignment. What matters is that you recognize it, that you honor it, and that you move forward with it. Trust means you don't need universal approval to step into your destiny. You only need alignment with the purpose that has been calling you. Remember also that the call is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of a new one. It does not mean you have arrived at the final destination. It means you are stepping onto a new path, one that will take you further than you imagined. The call is a doorway, not a finish line. And when you walk through it, you will see more doors, more opportunities, more growth. That is why it is so important to embrace it fully, with gratitude and courage. The call is not meant to be feared, it is meant to be celebrated. It is proof that waiting was worth it, that trust was not wasted, and that destiny has a way of finding those who refuse to give up. NTHE call you've been waiting for is a reminder that life often moves in seasons. There are seasons of planting, seasons of watering, seasons of waiting, and then seasons of harvest. You have been in the waiting season, where nothing seemed to move forward, where each day looked the same, where your heart sometimes whispered questions in the dark. Yet the waiting has been part of the design. Without the waiting, the harvest would not carry the same weight. Without the silence, the sound of the call would not carry the same meaning. Waiting sharpens our appreciation. It makes us see clearly that what we receive is not random, but intentional. And when that call comes, you will treasure it because of what you endured before it arrived. It is important to remember that not every call is meant for every stage of your life. Some doors you thought you wanted may have closed, not because they were wrong, but because they were early. Timing is everything. The right thing at the wrong time can break you, but the right thing at the right time builds you. Trusting this truth allows you to look back at disappointments with new eyes. You begin to see that the rejections were redirections. The silences were safeguards. The detours were protections. And the moment that felt like a setback was actually a setup for the moment you are about to enter now. When you realize this, bitterness dissolves into gratitude, and fear melts into trust. NNTHE call will also test your readiness to step into more responsibility. Opportunities are not just rewards, they are assignments. The new job, the new connection, the new open door, all of it comes with new challenges as well as blessings. But you will be ready. That is what the waiting has been for. It has been shaping your character, building your resilience, and giving you wisdom. So when the call arrives, you will not just celebrate it, you will steward it. You will nurture it. You will let it grow into something greater than you first imagined. The call is not a gift you simply receive. It is a responsibility you carry forward with honor. Think of how many moments in your life once felt like an ending, but became the beginning of something unexpected. Think of the times you thought you had missed your chance, only to later realize that something better had been hidden around the corner. That is the same energy surrounding the call you are waiting for now. It will arrive not as a random event, but as an answer. Sometimes to a prayer you forgot you prayed. Sometimes to a dream you thought you left behind. Sometimes to a longing you couldn't even put into words. When it comes, it will feel like the closing of a circle, the completion of something unfinished, the resolution of a story that has long been unfolding. And in that moment, you will know every step was worth it. NTHE call you've been waiting for may come suddenly, but it will not come without signs. If you look back carefully, you may notice that small hints have already been appearing. A conversation that stirred something in your heart. A door that quietly opened while another one closed. A chance encounter that planted a seed of possibility. These are not accidents, they are indicators. They are like the soft glow before sunrise, reminding you that the light is on its way, even if the full sun has not yet risen. When the call finally arrives, you will look back and realize that the signs were there all along, guiding you step by step toward this moment. The path was not random, it was intentional. It is natural to feel fear before stepping into something new. Fear asks questions like, what if I am not enough? What if I fail? What if this is too much for me? But remember this, if the call has come to you, it means you have already been prepared for it. The preparation may not have been obvious, but it has been steady. Every hardship you overcame, every challenge you endured, every lesson you learned has been a form of training. You may not have realized it at the time, but you have been getting ready. That is why the call comes now. It comes not to expose your weakness, but to reveal your strength. The nerves you feel are not signs of inadequacy. They are signs that you are about to grow. Growth always carries a measure of trembling, but it also carries transformation. As you prepare to answer the call, remember that it may require you to let go of certain things. Not everything can come with you into this next season. Some habits will have to be released, some doubts will have to be silenced, and some relationships may need to fade. This is not loss, this is alignment. The call brings clarity, and clarity always makes it easier to see what belongs and what does not. Do not be afraid of letting go. What you release makes space for what is coming. What you lay down makes room for what will lift you higher. Trust that what is leaving is not punishment, but preparation. The call does not just bring something new into your life, it also refines your life to make room for it. And when you finally step into it, you will feel a sense of rightness that words cannot fully describe. It will not mean every question is answered or every detail is clear, but it will mean you are where you are meant to be. That inner assurance, that quiet strength, that peace that settles into your bones, that is how you will know. You will see that the waiting, the silence, and the struggle were all building to this moment. And as you embrace it, you will also embrace a new version of yourself, stronger, wiser, and more open to what lies ahead. The call you've been waiting for is about to happen, and when it does, it will not just change your life, it will change you. The call you've been waiting for is more than an answer to a question. It is a turning point. It is the signal that one chapter is closing and another is beginning. You may not realize how much you've grown during the waiting, but when you step into this new moment, it will become clear. The strength you carry now was built in the silence. The clarity you hold now was sharpened in the uncertainty. The resilience you embody now was born in the struggle. That is why you are ready. What once would have overwhelmed you will now empower you. What once felt impossible will now feel within reach. The call is not arriving to crush you, it is arriving to confirm you. It is showing you that you were capable all along, even when you doubted it. When the call arrives, don't be afraid to embrace it fully. Lean into it with gratitude, with confidence, with openness. It may feel bigger than you, but that is because it is meant to stretch you into your fullest potential. It may take you to places you've never been before, but that is because you were not meant to remain where you were. Every new step requires courage, but courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward in spite of it. When the moment comes, choose courage. Choose trust. Choose to step into what has been waiting for you as much as you have been waiting for it. And understand this, the call is not the end of your story, but the beginning of a new chapter. Once you answer it, new doors will open, new opportunities will arise, and new connections will form. You are stepping not just into an answer, but into a flow of alignment, a flow of purpose, a flow of possibility. That is why the waiting mattered so much, because once the flow begins, it will carry you forward with momentum. You won't have to push so hard, you won't have to fight every step. The alignment itself will carry you. You will sense that things are falling into place, and the peace you feel will confirm that this is where you were meant to be. NNSO. Let this be your encouragement. The waiting is almost over. The silence is almost finished. The moment you've been longing for is closer than you think. Stay ready, stay open, stay trusting. Because when the call comes, it may come suddenly, but it will come surely. It will arrive not as a faint whisper of possibility, but as a resounding confirmation that your patience was not in vain. And when you answer it, your life will shift, your path will expand, and your heart will finally rest in the knowing that the call you have been waiting for has become the call you are now living. The call you've been waiting for is not just about a single moment, it is about a shift in the way you live and see the world. Once it arrives, you will not simply return to life as it was before. Something within you will change permanently. You will begin to carry yourself differently, because you will know in your bones that waiting does not equal being forgotten, that silence does not mean absence, and that hope is never wasted. The very atmosphere of your days will feel lighter, because you will move with the assurance that destiny has a way of reaching those who hold on with faith. And this shift will not only affect you, it will ripple out to those around you. The way you speak, the way you encourage others, the way you carry hope in your presence will become a beacon for people who are still waiting for their own calls. Not us. This is why it is so important to prepare your heart, not only to receive, but also to give. When you have been through the valley of silence, you know what it feels like to long and to wait. And when your breakthrough arrives, your story will carry the power to inspire. Others will look at your journey and find courage for their own. They will see that if waiting can end for you, it can also end for them. That is the hidden purpose of the call. It is not only for your blessing, but also for the encouragement of those who will walk after you. The trust you have built, the endurance you have developed, the lessons you have learned, all of it will flow outward, touching lives you may never even meet directly. Sometimes, the call comes in a form that requires not just listening, but action. It is one thing to hear, it is another to answer. Answering may mean stepping into the unknown, taking risks, and saying yes when fear tells you to stay safe. But the moment you answer, you will feel the weight of alignment. It may not all be easy, but it will always be worth it. The steps you take after the call are as important as the call itself, because they determine how far the opportunity can grow. Answer with boldness, answer with clarity, answer with the faith that carried you to this point. Do not let hesitation rob you of what belongs to you. The call is not random. It is tailored for you. That means you already have what it takes to walk it out. And as you move forward, never forget that this call is part of a larger journey. There will be more moments, more shifts, more alignments. This is not the end of your story. It is another chapter in a book that is still being written. The same power that brought you here will carry you further. The same patience that sustained you will strengthen you again. The same trust that kept you anchored will continue to guide you. The call you are waiting for is only one piece of a much bigger picture. A picture where every detail, even the ones that once confused you, come together to create a masterpiece of timing, growth, and fulfillment. NTHE call you've been waiting for is also a reminder of resilience. Think of all the times you considered giving up, all the moments when the silence felt heavier than your strength. Yet here you are, still standing, still hoping, still waiting. That alone is proof of your endurance. Many would have walked away, many would have let disappointment harden their hearts, but you chose differently. You chose to believe, even when evidence seemed thin. That choice has shaped you more than you realize. It has carved strength into your soul, and that strength will not leave you once the call arrives. It will stay with you, guiding you in every step beyond this moment. Life is full of noise, distractions, and competing voices. Sometimes the hardest part of waiting is not the silence, but the doubt planted by those voices. Doubt that whispers, maybe it will never happen, maybe you misunderstood, maybe you are not worthy. Yet deep within you, there was always another voice, quieter but steadier, reminding you to hold on. That voice is what carried you through. It is the voice that told you not to give up when you were tired, the voice that assured you something bigger was at work. And now, as the call draws near, that same inner assurance will confirm that this moment is real. You will not have to force yourself to believe it. You will simply know. When the call happens, allow yourself to fully feel it. Too often we move so quickly from receiving into striving that we miss the sweetness of the moment. Pause. Let gratitude wash over you. Let relief sink into your bones. Let joy rise in your heart. These emotions are not weaknesses, they are celebrations. They mark the end of a season and the beginning of another, and they give you fuel to move forward with energy and clarity. Do not rush past the arrival of what you've longed for. Let yourself experience it in its fullness. That memory will stay with you forever, and it will become a landmark you can look back on whenever life brings new seasons of waiting. Remember also that the call is not just an external event, but an internal awakening. You are not only waiting for a voice, a message, or an opportunity. You are waiting to meet the version of yourself who has grown through the waiting. When you answer the call, you are not just stepping into a new chapter of circumstances, but into a new chapter of who you are. And that transformation is the greatest gift of all. And so, the call you've been waiting for is closer than you think. Stay ready, stay trusting, stay open, because when it comes, it will not just reach your ears, it will reach your heart. And in that moment, you will know without a doubt, it was always meant for you.